Hello, everyone, and welcome to my B2 High Intermediate English course. In this module, you will learn the positions of adverbs and adverb phrases in sentences. At the end, you will get to practice what you just learned with a few sample exercises. Let's get started. All right, so we'll look here at the position real quick. All right, so we have an initial position, a mid position, and the final position in a sentence. Okay, so adverbs that can be in this first or initial position are comment adverbs. For example, luckily, nobody got hurt, or unfortunately, we arrived late. And we also have sometimes, usually, normally. Sometimes these are in the mid position. It's actually more common, but they can also be in the beginning. Sometimes he can be stubborn, for example. And then we have adverbs of time, although the final position is more common. But check this example. Just before the wedding, they split up. And then adverbs of manner can be at the beginning, usually in literary style. For example, carefully, she opened the box. Now, mid position. Adverbs of manner can go in the mid position, a lot of times with literary style or with passive verbs. For example, um, they were seriously injured. So this is passive. So we got, and then literary, she carefully opened the box. And then we've got adverbs of frequency that are usually in this position. I usually work on Saturdays. And then most other adverbs, for example, we had just met when he died. So just is an adverb. Um, uh, to say when the action was done. It's usually quite recent. All right, let's talk about final position real quick. We can also use adverbs of manner here. She always speaks very quickly. And then adverbs of place, for example, I haven't seen him anywhere. And then adverbs of time. It rained quite heavily yesterday. Okay, we'll move on here. Okay, positions of adverbs that we just talked about. So, adverbs and adverb phrases can be placed in three positions, the initial position, mid, and final position. Okay, so initial position at the beginning of a sentence. So, for example, sometimes I feel a bit lost in big cities. Or yesterday we went to the library. So you can see here they're at the beginning. All right, final position. This is at the end of the sentence. So for example, she arrived at the office very late. So that tells when she arrived, or yeah, she was very late. All right, and then we have to move quickly. Okay. And then mid position. So this is the position where most adverbs are placed. It is before the main verb here. Okay, so see these examples here. I often call him to know how he is. So this is in the middle, often before call. Or they don't always answer the phone. So always here is before the verb here and after don't. All right. Then when be is the main verb, the adverb comes after it. For example, they are usually late for appointments. So usually late. This comes after are. Dad is sometimes upset when the kitchen is messy. So got sometimes after is. All right. And then adverbs also come after the auxiliary verb or the first auxiliary verb when there are two or more of these. So, for example, you must never do that again. So, this here never comes after must. Must is like a modal verb also, as well as an auxiliary. And then I have often been tempted to tell her I love her. So, been tempted, that's that would be in passive form. But yes, often coming after the auxiliary have. And then she doesn't always make her bed, or you should never have to replace that battery. Okay, so this is coming before the modal verb here, and then after the auxiliary should. Um, all right, we'll move on here. Okay, let's look at types of adverbs and their position. So adverbs of frequency, these tell how often. So adverbs of frequency usually go in mid-position. However, a few of them, like sometimes, usually, and normally, can also go in the initial position. All right, let's look at mid-position. So we've got I usually work on Saturdays. So usually is one. Then there's she's hardly ever late for work. Of course, this means not usually or rarely, hardly ever. Okay, and then you should always knock on the door first. So it should always, I mean, this comes before the main verb knock. So, and should is the modal form. Okay, now there's also initial position, like sometimes, usually, and normally. We'll see a couple examples. So sometimes he can be very stubborn, or normally my friends call me before coming over. So, all right. Okay, adverbs of manner. These tell how something is done. So, adverbs of manner can be used in any of the three positions. However, their most common position is the final position. So, let's look at the final position. An example, I don't understand you when you speak quickly. So, that's the example. She can dance the tango and rumba marvelously. So these tell how these actions are done. So dance and marvelously, um, and then speak and quickly. All right, mid position. Okay, so adverbs of manner are used in this position mainly in literary style, although they normally go in this position with passive verb forms. So okay, a couple examples here. He carefully took the flour and put it in the jar. So this is what like you would see in writing, carefully took. So, and then we've got these two here where it says the driver was injured seriously, or we have the driver was seriously injured. So this one up here is not correct. Uh, we've got seriously, it should be before injured. So it's uh, passive voice here. But yes. All right. Some adverbs of manner cannot be placed in mid position, like well, badly, hard, or fast. Okay, so a couple examples. She had studied hard. He finished his homework fast. So these are at the end. And then she was so stressed that she performed her act badly. So that's almost like poorly, but it's at the end here. Okay, an initial position here. So adverbs of manner are used in this position only in literary style. So we'll see here. Carefully. she opened the box and removed the necklace. Or silently, he went up the stairs to his room. So, yeah, you see this type of writing like in stories and things like that. All right. Okay, adverbs of time. So, final position. We normally place adverbs of time in this position here at the end. So we have, for example, get dressed now. They'll be here soon. And then it rained a lot yesterday. So these are at the end. Okay, initial position. So we can also use adverbs of time in the initial position. We place them in this position for emphasis or to structure a text as connectors. All right, so for example, 2 days after their wedding, they started arguing. So, so we've got 2 days after. So this is the initial adverb phrase, right? Okay, and then last week is another. She arrived late every day. So we've got two here, last week and then late. And then there's tomorrow. We're going to drive to the mountains. Okay, so we're just notice why they're here in the beginning. We are emphasizing here um, uh, the actions. So, okay, comment adverbs. Comment adverbs, those that express a viewpoint, include obviously, luckily, unfortunately, honestly, etc., and are normally placed in initial position. So, for example, unfortunately, we arrived half an hour late. Or there's ideally, we should leave the house at 10 a.m. Or luckily, they were able to get the car fixed on time. Okay, and then we've got adverbs of degree. They tell how much something uh, is. I mean, an action to what extent. Okay, for example, almost, hardly, nearly, quite, rather, scarcely, etc. Okay, most of these degree adverbs usually go in mid position. So here's a couple of examples. We were nearly hit by a truck in the street. And then I would rather stay here if you don't mind. So So we've got this here, nearly hit. That means kind of means almost. And or else I would rather stay. So, all right. Okay. And then we have very, extremely, incredibly, absolutely, etc. These degree adverbs are placed before the adjective or adverb they modify. For example, we're incredibly tired from carrying all those boxes. Describes how tired we are. All right. Or it's absolutely impossible to find my lost ring in this mess. So this says, how impossible is it? Absolutely. Okay, and then we have much, a lot, a bit. These adverbs are normally used after the verb they complement. For example, stressed people smoke a lot. Okay, this says how much they smoke. All right. And then he is usually quiet and doesn't talk much. Okay. So much modifies talk, of course, um, and usually modifies quiet here. Um, and then, of course, a lot modifies smoke. All right. Then we have a little. This degree adverb is normally placed before the adjective or adverb that it modifies. So, for example, I felt a little anxious about my English exam. So, so little tells how anxious I was. All right. All right. Manner, place, and time. So when we have to use different adverbs in final position, their order is usually manner, place, and then time. So for example, they met by chance in Barcelona in 1999. So you can see by chance, that would be manner, right? In Barcelona, that's place, and in 1999, that's time. And then this one, the children played excitedly, that's manner, in the backyard yesterday. So you see how that works? Okay. Note that when there is a verb of movement, the order is place, manner, and then time. So for example, he goes to school. So this is would be place, by car, and that's manner, every day. That would be time or how often. Okay, so verbs and object can never be separated. We cannot place any adverbs between them. So you'll see which ones are correct and incorrect. So I like a lot pizza, or I like pizza a lot. Okay, so um, you don't want to put this after like. It doesn't sound right. It should come after uh, the object here or at the end of the sentence. And then this example, he speaks very well German, or he speaks German very well. So these um, adverbs of manner, they should, uh, or degree actually, should go after at the end of the sentence. All right, well, we're going to move on to a few sample exercises and see what we've learned so far. Okay, so let's look at exercise 1. From the drop-down boxes, we'll select the correct option here. So she liked the present a lot last night. Last night, the present a lot, or a lot the present last night. So which sounds best? Okay, so if you chose the top one, the present a lot last night, okay, we know that because present is the object, we want that to come first, and degree, and then the adverb of time. All right, number 2, obviously you can never be never. You can obviously be never. Obviously, you can never be sure of what will happen. Okay, being that this is a comment adverb, it comes first. So the top or the bottom one. So, and you know that never also comes before the be verb. So if you chose the bottom one, you can never be. That would be the correct answer. Okay, 3. Please drive carefully your car tomorrow. Drive your car carefully tomorrow. Or tomorrow, drive carefully your car. All right, so, all right. So I think if you chose the second one, drive your car carefully tomorrow, that sounds the best. Okay. All right, number 4, our team lose, are badly playing, or no, are playing badly and will probably, are badly playing and will probably, or are badly playing and probably will. So which one do you think sounds best? Okay. Okay, so, all right, so if you chose the top one, are playing badly and will probably, That would be the correct order here. So this one is it's different in that it usually comes after the directly after the main verb here. Um, okay, and then number 5, we'll try that one. We're playing all night quietly in our room quietly all night, or quietly in our room all night. Okay, so all right, so if you chose the bottom one, quietly in our room all night, that would be correct, the correct order here. Okay, let's look at number 2, the second exercise. Okay, multiple choice. So which of these is correct? Does he go late to bed usually? Does he usually go to bed late? Or does he go late usually to bed? Okay, so all right, so if he chose the middle one, does he usually go to bed late? That would be correct. That sounds best. Okay, number 2. Which one is correct? David walks to work every morning. David every morning walks to work. Or David walks every morning to work. Okay, so all right, if you chose the first one or option A, David walks to work every morning, that would be the correct one. Okay, let's see about number 3. Which one is not correct? So, I ate quickly my breakfast and went out. I ate my breakfast quickly and went out. Or I quickly ate my breakfast and went out. So, the one that doesn't look right. All right, the top one or option A. I ate quickly my breakfast and went out. Yeah. Okay, one more here. This time, which one is correct? Did you learn a lot at school today? Did you learn a lot today at school? Or did you learn today a lot at school? All right, so, okay. We know that this one's not right. Okay, so, so it'd be option A, right? Did you learn a lot at school today? That sounds the best, and it is the correct one. Okay, let's look let exercise 3. We'll do a few of these. So we'll rewrite these sentences, including these adverbs in parentheses in the correct placement here, um, using commas when necessary. Okay, so number 1, the house was damaged in the flood. So we've got badly and last summer. So we want to write the house, okay, was, so we want this time, because it's passive voice, um, so badly damaged, in the flood, and then last summer. All right. Okay, number 2, we must do something. So we have obviously and quickly. Okay, so obviously is a comment adverb. If you remember where it goes in the sentence. So obviously, comma, okay, we must do something quickly. All right, that's it. hmm And number 3, just this one. Liam is at his friend's house. We've got sometimes in the evening. Okay, so how can we do this one? we can put sometimes in the beginning, right? Okay, so sometimes, oops, okay, Liam is at his friend's house in the evening. All right, that's how it would go. All right, so we're done now. So great job on these exercises. Sometimes I know it's hard to know the placement because there's so many different adverbs and there can be more than one placement for them in the sentences. But it shows that you paid close attention here. All right. Well, you can learn to speak English with more confidence with me. I'm TESOL certified. I teach native U.S. English. I'm experienced in online tutoring, and I work with all learning levels and most age groups. So whether you need help with grammar, speaking, vocabulary, or writing, or any other area, you come to the right place. Well, thank you for watching my video and happy learning.